relationship. Let me tell you something real. If you're sitting around waiting for someone to come save you, for someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Ship, you've got what it takes," you're going to be waiting your entire life. Because here's the truth, until you believe in yourself, no one else will. That's not just a catchy quote. That's a law, it's gravity. That's how life works. Your belief in yourself, or your lack of it, sets the ceiling for your potential. It's the foundation of every dream, every goal, every breakthrough. Without it, everything you try to build will collapse the moment things get hard, and they will get hard. Success doesn't start with talent. It doesn't start with luck. It doesn't even start with opportunity. It starts with belief. Belief in who you are, belief in what you're capable of, belief in what you're becoming. Isn't a feeling, it's a choice. A daily, sometimes moment by moment decision to trust your inner voice when the world goes silent. When you walk into a room, people don't just see you, they feel your energy. They pick up on your certainty or your doubt before you ever say a word. People don't respond to your potential, they respond to your conviction. They respond to what you believe about yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, why should they? This is where so many people get stuck. They wait to feel confident. They wait for someone else to say, "You're ready." They wait until the fear goes away. But confidence doesn't come before action. It comes from action. You move first. You speak up when your voice still shakes. You take the shot before you know if it'll land. You show up when every part of you wants to shrink back. And with every step you take, you send a signal to yourself, "I've got this." You begin to trust that you can handle the pressure, the rest the rejection. And that's when belief starts to grow. Is fear going to show up? Absolutely. Is doubt going to whisper in your ear every single day? But champions, leaders, the ones who change the game, they don't let fear drive the car. They don't need the doubt to disappear before they move forward. They act despite it. They know that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's deciding that what you want matters more than what you're afraid of. Some people spend their entire lives waiting for someone to validate them, to say, "No, you're good enough." But if your dream needs permission from someone else, it's not your dream anymore. It's theirs. You weren't born to ask permission. You were born to claim your place. The power to change your life has always been in your hands, not theirs. Every day, with every word, every decision, every boundary you set, you are teaching the world how to treat you. And if you treat yourself like you're not worth much, the world's going to believe you. But if you treat yourself like someone with value, someone with purpose, someone who refuses to shrink, the world responds to that. You want people to bet on you. Bet on yourself first. You want support. Support yourself first. You want others to believe in your vision. Show them what it looks like to own it. This is not just about motivation, it's about identity. It's about rewriting the story you've been telling yourself. It's about realizing that everything changes the moment you change. So stop waiting. Stop hiding. Stop handing your worth over to the opinions of others. Choose to believe in yourself relentlessly, unapologetically every single day, and watch how fast the world starts catching up. Because once you do that, once you truly believe in who you are and what you're capable of, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. When you walk into a room, people don't just see your face or hear your words, they feel your presence. Before you even speak, your energy tells a story. And here's the truth, people reflect the confidence you project. The world doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you believe you deserve. If you carry yourself with doubt, insecurity, or hesitation, people will treat you accordingly, not because they're trying to put you down, because you're unintentionally showing them how to treat you. It's not about arrogance, it's about alignment. When your internal certainty matches your external expression, people take notice. Think about it. When someone walks in with certainty, clarity, and energy, heads turn. They don't need to be the loudest person in the room. They simply know who they are and what they bring. That kind of presence isn't accidental. It's intentional. It comes from self-trust built through action. And when you have it, others feel it. They start to mirror your energy. They start to believe in you, not just because of your words, but because of how deeply you believe in yourself. But the opposite is also true. When you shrink yourself, when you downplay your value, when you second guess every move, you give others permission to do the same. You unintentionally signal, "I'm not ready, I'm not enough. Don't bet on me." And guess what? They won't. That's why belief isn't just personal, it's powerful. Because when you believe in yourself, you give others a blueprint. You show them how to engage with you, how to trust you, how to respect you. People will rise or fall to meet the energy you bring into every interaction. So if you want the world to take you seriously, start by taking yourself seriously. Speak with certainty, move with purpose, own your space, not just physically, but emotionally and energetically. Because when your confidence becomes non-negotiable, the world can't help but respond. Belief isn't something you magically wake up with one morning. It doesn't from repeating nice, sounding affirmations in the mirror. You can say, "I believe in myself," 100 times a day, but if you don't act like it, those words are just noise. Belief is built the same way strength is built. Through repetition, through challenge, through showing up when it's uncomfortable, when you're unsure, when everything in you says, play it safe. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. You don't think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. Every time you take a risk, every time you speak up, step out, try something new, even if it's messy. Even if you fall on your face, you're sending yourself a message: I can handle this, I can trust myself. That's where real belief is born. It's not created in moments of comfort. It's forged in the fire of discomfort. It's earned on the edge of fear, not behind it. Most people wait to feel ready before they make a move. They think belief comes first, then action follows. But that's backwards. You act first, you do the thing, you take the step, and the belief catches up because your brain starts to see proof. Hey, I did that. I survived. Maybe I'm more capable than I thought. You build belief by doing hard things, not by avoiding them. You strengthen your self-image by stretching your limits. Belief is the reward for courage. That's the deal. Let's get one thing clear: you will doubt yourself. You will have moments where your confidence disappears. That's normal. That's human. But in those moments, you don't stop, you don't retreat, you lean in. You take the next action anyway, because confidence is a muscle and every rep counts. One small step, one tough conversation, one bold decision. It all stacks up, and over time, those little acts become something massive. They become belief. If you're waiting for belief to show up before you move, you're gonna stay stuck. Belief isn't a prerequisite, it's a byproduct. You don't need to believe you're the best in the world to start. You just need to believe that you're willing to try. That's enough, because action is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Action is what creates identity, is where belief takes root. So stop waiting for clarity, for motivation, for someone to give you permission. Stop thinking you have to feel ready. You don't. You have to move. You have to build evidence that you're capable. And once you start collecting those small wins, the belief won't just be something you say, it'll be something you know. Fear and doubt are not signs that you're weak. They're signs that you're alive. They show up when you care about something deeply, when you're stepping into unfamiliar territory. When you're on the verge of growth, everyone feels fear. Everyone has moments of doubt. The difference between the people who succeed and the ones who stay stuck isn't that the successful people never feel fear. They just don't obey it. They don't give it the wheel. They don't let it decide the direction of their lives. Fear might knock at the door, but belief is what answers. You will never completely eliminate fear. You will never reach a point where doubt disappears forever, and that's okay. The goal isn't to erase fear, it's to move with it. To recognize that fear is just a story your brain is telling to keep you safe. It's the voice that says, what if you fail? What if they laugh? What if you're not good enough? But you don't have to believe everything you think. You can hear that voice and still choose to act. You can say, I see you, I hear you, but I'm not stopping. The truth is, if you wait until the fear goes away, you'll be waiting forever. Some of the most powerful, accomplished, world-changing people you admire, they're still afraid sometimes. They still have doubts, but they've trained themselves to move anyway. That's what courage is. It's not being fearless, it's doing what needs to be done while you're afraid. It's walking forward with shaky legs. It's saying yes before you feel ready. Every time you do that, every time you step through fear instead of running from it, you reclaim your power. You remind yourself that you're stronger than the voice in your head. You show yourself that fear doesn't control you. And the more you do that, the quieter that voice becomes. It never disappears, but it loses its grip. Because now you've got proof. You've got history, you've done hard things before, and you can do them again. Fear and doubt are part of the process. They're not roadblocks, they're signals. They show you exactly where your next breakthrough lies. So when fear shows up, don't run, don't shrink, lean in. That discomfort you're feeling, that's growth trying to happen. And the only way to break through is to move through. You will never feel 100% ready. You will never feel completely fearless. But you don't need to be. You just need to decide that what you want is more important than what you're afraid of. That your future is more valuable than your fear. That the life you're building is worth the discomfort of facing doubt. Because it is. And because once you've proven to yourself that you can act in the face of fear, nothing will have power over you again. Waiting for approval is one of the most dangerous habits a person can fall into. It's subtle, it's sneaky, and it feels safe because it plays directly into our desire to be accepted, to be liked, to be validated. But let me tell you the truth. You're constantly looking over your shoulder for someone to nod, to clap, to tell you you're good enough. You're giving away your power. You're putting your future, your dreams, your purpose in someone else's hands. And that is a recipe for frustration, regret, and staying stuck. Because the approval you're waiting for, it might never come. Not because you aren't worthy, but because the people you're waiting on are often too distracted, too scared, or too caught up in their own insecurities to give it to you. If you need permission to go after what you want, then your dream isn't yours, it's theirs. And that should scare you more than any fear of failure. When you rely on external validation, you become a prisoner to other people's opinions. You stop asking, what feels right to me? And instead start asking, will they like this? That mindset doesn't build leaders, it builds followers. It builds people who wake up years later wondering why they feel so empty, even though they checked all the boxes and played by all the rules. Nobody is coming to hand you confidence. Nobody is coming to say, okay, now you're ready. That moment you're waiting for, you create it. That validation you're chasing, you generate it from within. The world doesn't give you belief. It mirrors the belief you already have. When you walk in with certainty, not arrogance, but real, earned self-respect, people start to notice. They lean in. They listen. But it starts with you deciding that you don't need their green light. You are your own permission slip. Look around at the people you admire, the ones doing the things you dream about. Do you think they waited for everyone to agree with them? Do you think they paused every time someone raised an eyebrow or doubted them? Of course not. They moved through the resistance. They acted while people whispered. They created momentum while others hesitated. And the world caught up later. When you stop waiting and start owning who you are, you shift everything. You become unstoppable, not because the fear disappears, but because you're no longer ruled by the need to please. You're no longer living on other people's timelines. You've decided that your vision, your mission, your truth is enough. And when you operate from that place, people feel it. They trust you more. Not because you asked for their trust, but because you commanded it through presence, through purpose, through belief. Approval is a trap. It keeps you small. It delays your growth. It robs you of your momentum. The most powerful thing you can do is stop asking, what will they think? And start asking, what do I believe? That shift in focus changes everything. Because the second you no longer need external validation, you become free. Free to move. Free to lead. Free to build the life you were born to live. On your terms, in your voice. With your full power unlocked. You teach the world how to treat you by how you treat yourself. Every single day, in every single moment. People don't decide your worth. You do. And then they follow your lead. If you carry yourself like someone who deserves respect, opportunity, and success, others begin to see you through that same lens. But if you carry yourself like someone who doubts their value, who constantly apologizes for existing, who shrinks to make others comfortable, the world takes that as permission to do the same. That's not because people are cruel. It's because you've unknowingly given them the blueprint for how to engage with you. You've shown them the level of energy, respect, relationship, and belief they should bring when dealing with you. And the hardest truth is this: if you don't believe you're enough, it's going to be really hard to convince anyone else that you are. You don't need to walk around demanding validation from everyone you meet. That's not strength, that's desperation. Real power doesn't scream, it radiates. It shows up in how you speak about yourself, in how you handle rejection, in how you hold your standards high, not just when things are going well, but when they aren't. People watch that. They watch how you respond when you're told no, when you fail, when things go off track. Do you collapse? Or do you reset and keep going with your head held high? That tells them everything they need to know about how to treat you. Your reaction becomes your reputation. This isn't about ego. It's not about pretending to have it all together. It's about owning your worth so fully that it becomes non-negotiable. You set the tone by the boundaries you enforce, by the opportunities you pursue, and by the standards you uphold. If you tolerate disrespect, people will continue to bring it to your door. If you settle for less than you deserve, they'll keep offering you less. But when you raise your standard, when you treat yourself with respect, when you invest in your own growth and speak with conviction, people rise to meet you there, or they fall away. Either outcome is a win. And here's the beautiful part: when you begin treating yourself like you matter, like your voice has weight, like your time and energy are valuable, you attract people who see you that way too. It's not magic, it's alignment. The world outside starts to reflect the reality you've created inside. That's when you start walking into rooms and opportunities seem to find you. That's when people begin to take you seriously, not because you convinced them, but because you became undeniable. So take a look at how you move through life. How do you speak about yourself when no one is listening? How do you handle moments when things don't go your way? Are you shrinking or standing tall? Because all of that matters. It all sends a message. You are the one who sets the tone for your life. You are the one who teaches others how to show up for you. And when you show up for yourself first, fully, consistently, unapologetically, the rest of the world has no choice but to follow. So here's what it all comes down to line. No one is going to hand you belief, confidence, or success. No one is going to knock on your door and say, now is your time. Because your time isn't something you wait for, it's something you claim. Every single part of your journey starts with one decision, the decision to believe in yourself when no one else does, to back yourself when it's uncomfortable, to rise when it would be easier to hide. You don't need permission, you don't need approval, you don't need the world to understand you before you take action. What you need is to trust that you are enough right now as you are, and that you can become even more through commitment, courage, and relentless belief. Once you own that, once you show the world how serious you are about your worth, everything starts to shift. Opportunities appear. The right people show up. The respect you've been chasing starts to find you, not because you asked for it, but because you became it. So stop waiting. Start believing. Because until you believe in yourself, no one else will. But the moment you do, the world starts to follow your lead.